curious preschooler, an energetic elementary student, or a thoughtful teen, there is a class just for them. Our caring teachers are dedicated to creating a safe, welcoming environment where every child can discover their purpose and build a strong foundation in Christ. So come be a part of the community that grows together, learns together, and celebrates Jesus together.
Good morning, Zambia, and welcome to Light TV, and welcome to the power of community that starts your day with light, inspiring transformation each and every day of your life. Already it's past 7, and of course for the next 2 hours we'll keep you informed, inspired, and entertained even as you prepare for your day. Some of you are already out of bed, some of us are already up and running, maybe some of you are stuck in traffic, but dear viewer, welcome to the breakfast show. If you're just tuned in, you're watching us live on your Top Star decoder on channel 121. You're also watching us live on Facebook, live on YouTube, and not to mention TikTok. So dear viewer, welcome to the Light TV breakfast show. Welcome so that you can get inspired for another day. Today is the 17th of February 2026, a beautiful day. You know, I keep wondering, where is 2026 going? We are already in the second month of 2026 and already beyond half of the month, and it's exciting and sometimes a little bit worrying to say where are the days going. 2026 is already running. We're just celebrating the new year, and we're all saying, oh, new year, New Year's resolutions, and sometimes we're thinking, oh, those resolutions have started coming. Am I working on those resolutions? But not to worry. That's why you are tuned in today, dear viewer, so that you can get inspired, so that your life can be transformed, so that of course you can be informed, you can be inspired, and you can make those wonderful decisions that will better your life, and decisions that will also help you inspire another person to better their lives. So if you're just tuned in, please feel free to comment on our page, feel free to share how you're feeling about the 17th of February, and just tell us what you're doing today, what you're up to today. Are you rushing for work? Are you preparing for work? Maybe your day is starting around 10 or something. Maybe you have to report for work by 10 or something. But feel free to share what you are doing this morning. Feel free to share and tell us so that we can enjoy and we can have community and talk together and chat. And speaking of community, today we have a powerful topic, and that topic is of course very close to our hearts, and it's to do with a sense of belonging. How do you feel? Do you feel that you belong somewhere? Do you feel that you belong to a family? Do you feel that you belong to a certain group of people, to a particular group of people? Do you identify with a group of people? How do you feel about a sense of belonging? That's why today, dear viewer, we are looking at the power of community. Of course, because none of us can succeed alone. And on the breakfast show, we've said it time and time again, no one is an island. No one can do things on their own. No one can survive on their own. We definitely need each other. We definitely need each other, and so that we can pull each other up. When one falls, the other person pulls you up. When you feel down, another person encourages you. That's why we need community, and we as Zambians and generally as Africans are known as communal people. We love to share things in common. We chat, we share stories, because we as Africans are generally great storytellers, and we'll share a lot of things in common. We love to be around people. We love to be social. We love to joke. We love to laugh, and we love to, of course, to groove and jive and we love to dance because we are naturally communal people and we are lively people. So speaking of community, what does community really mean? So in a nutshell, community also means support, friendship, faith, teamwork, family, and simply being there for each other, simply being there to pull up your brother or sister who is down at some point in time, to encourage the other person and to be together and to be there to guide another person. The other person can also pour into your life, and you are steered together in one direction. You move together as a team, moving together as a community and moving together as one and soldiering ahead. So stay tuned even as we have inspiring stories, discussions, viewer messages, fun moments, and practical ways you can strengthen your community today. So please tell us where you're watching from. Tell us where you are and what you're up to. Tell us and we will be able to enjoy and interact with each other. Right now, we just take a short break. Please join me on the other side, even as I'm joined with my co-host.
Others were working, they had good jobs, but they lost it along the way. So they need your support, they need your help. Feel free to visit our center so that we advise on how we can come together and help these individuals.
Welcome back to the Light TV Breakfast Show with your co-host George Sompola and
Pastor Shepherd Murenga.
Indeed, today we have a wonderful topic. As mentioned earlier, we are looking at community and why community matters. So in your own words, why does community matter? Because we live in a modern world, by the way.
Yes, definitely. Community matters a lot, especially looking in our modern way. Yes, community really matters because, human beings are social. They are actually social beings. They have been created. No one has been created to live alone. Even when we look in the book of Genesis, when God created actually Adam, when Adam was alone, God even said that this man is not supposed to be alone. He's supposed to be with someone. So community matters a lot because we are social beings. You know that? Huh? We are social beings. Human beings have been made in a way that they have to interact. Because if you are alone, when you are going through a lot of problem, a lot of situation, you need someone who can encourage you. You need someone who can stand by your side and tell you, no, you can make it in life. So community are very much important, despite that in our time, in our generation, people don't value much of community. We see that people, these ones, they don't even know their neighbor. They don't even know who is their neighbor, even the person that they actually stay near to. So it's very much important for people to have communities.
Yes.
Yeah.
And speaking of our culture, by nature as Africans, we are communal people. But
yes,
in this day and age, we also seem to have deviated from that, because you mentioned clearly to say that you find you don't even know who your neighbor is. Your neighbor, and sometimes you would even say hi to your neighbor, and sometimes your neighbor will give you that funny look, like, why are you greeting me? But some would say, oh, hi, but then it will be that kind of, oh, hi.
Yes,
and then they'll give that funny look.
Yes, it looks like in our time, most people are reserved. They don't really want to, I don't know, maybe they call it, is it English manners? And we don't know where it came from.
Exactly.
But naturally, humans have to be social. We have to interact, and some of the benefit is that when we look at, for us, why the community is more important, is there is also emotional and mental benefit. You find that someone, maybe you are stressed, you are lonely, some people around you, they'll be able to comfort you. You see, they'll be able to give you hope. Even the way you're thinking pattern, it will be able to change, because those people, they will actually provide for your encouragement. So now, if you are not actually interacting with people, there's no one, you just want to be alone, you don't want to know people, it becomes very bad. Yeah, and it's bad. Like people, in our generation, they don't want to interact, they don't want to know their neighbor, they just want to be there on their own. And also, it is considered to be selfish. If you don't want to be part of the community, you are considered to be selfish, because you have to actually to interact with people.
So what real examples of community can we talk about? Because in the past, I think it was common during the era of our parents, so where they would share a lot of things in common. But what maybe real examples were they sharing? Like, what things would they share constantly?
Yeah, I think when we look in the past, we find that there's neighborhood group. You'll find that in the past they will be able to share food. Yeah, they'll be able to share food. You see, they are sharing food and even support. For example, maybe the neighbor doesn't have food, they'll be able to share food. But in our time now, it's difficult.
Try go to your neighbor and ask him even for salt, and they'll look at you in a funny way.
It's difficult because you don't even know where to start from, because the person you want to ask food from, or help from, you barely know them. So it's difficult for you to engage in a conversation and to share your problem that you are passing through. So we would see in those times where we see that people will be able to share food, will be able to share even just some basic necessity food and other things. They'll be able to do that. But in our time, it's difficult. I remember there's one woman who came from Botswana. She long time visited Zambia. That was long time ago. When she came back, she was so shocked. She said, the last time I came here in Zambia, I loved how people were interacting. I love people. There was no offense. There was nothing like these people. They're just alone. People used to interact. But when she came back, like after a very long time, it's like now we have been modernized. Yes. Things have really changed and have shifted. She was so shocked that, the reason why I came back to Zambia is because I was thinking the way it used to be in the old ways, where people would just have maybe some time together at night. I think you remember when we were kids, we would see that kids would just come at night, we would see our uncles, they will be sharing stories, they will be telling us what used to happen. You see, so it's as really we are able to see that it has evolved, and it's really challenging for people even to ask help from their neighbors, because they barely know each other.
Indeed. And sometimes maybe some neighbors will think, oh yeah, you've come to bother me, and we also have it in our heads to say, oh, the neighbor is going to think I'm bothering them, or they'll think, yeah, that person is just lazy. How can they be borrowing things?
Yeah, it really happens like that. And also some of the real examples we can look at is also the church groups. You know, it's very much important when we look also the community, also the church groups. It's very much important even for someone to belong to a church, because also a church is a community where someone has actually to belong themselves, so that they can be helped spiritually, they can be helped in prayers, they can be helped in one way and the other. So it's also very much important for people to belong to such communities like church, youth groups, because in youth groups they offer mentorship. You'll find that the youth will be taught how to live, you'll be taught how to survive, you'll be taught how he can do some certain things. So it's very much imperative for someone to belong to a community. Yes,
and speaking of spiritual support, I think we really do need a lot of spiritual support and spiritual counsel. Very, very important.
Yes, it's very much important, especially when we are going through a lot. We need someone, maybe we need someone who is spiritual, who can be able to counsel us, who can be able to share with us the word of God, that person who can be able also to teach us some of the things how we can overcome them. Because as human beings, we go through a lot. Yeah, people are going through a lot. Even if you see them, Pastor Joe, people putting on the suit, they looked polished, they look nice. Even ladies, they are put up on makeup, but there are issues that they are really battling with here. Yes, so when they belong to a community group, it's very much important for them it's easy even for them to be open up. Yes, to their friends, to their fellows, rather than they are just alone. Yes, we know there are people who are introvert, who don't want to socialize with other people, who don't want to mingle with other people. But even if you are introvert, but it's important for you to belong to a community group like church, so that at least you find some time where you can even have friends from there whom you can share your personal lives and what you are passing through, so that they can actually help you in one way and the other.
Yes, and then sadly, even in our families, sometimes we even forget, and you wonder, when was the last time I talked to my own brother or my own sister? Sometimes even in our families, we've also actually lost sight of that. We forget, that the elderly, and remember in families that we have elderly people, we have kids, we have people, teenagers, people in their 20s, and actually there was no such thing as cousins, where we were all brothers and sisters, all aunties and uncles, mothers and fathers, grandmothers and grandfathers, just one. And sadly today we don't do that anymore.
Yes, it's sadly enough you find that a lot of people now, they are busy with themselves. Sorry to say that, but a lot of people, they are busy with themselves, is because they don't have enough time even to check on their own brother. Like for them to call their own brother, it takes time. If in fact the way it should be, like right now, things should actually look like it now. They are easy than long time ago, because long time ago there was no phones, there was no way you can communicate to your brother, especially when they are at a distance. But now we have phones, you have got Facebook, you have got WhatsApp. It's easy for you to communicate to others, but it's sadly enough to find that people now, they isolate themselves, and you find that there is no much connection like with their brother. There is no that bonding even for them to communicate. It takes a very long time. For example, you find that in the home setup, their brothers, their sisters, you have got your siblings around you. You find that it's rare for them to have a conversation like in those old days where people would sit down and share their stories and share their problem, what they are passing through, even for them just to have a normal communication. But when you look at now, you find that most people will be busy on their phone. people will be chatting, even there will be no that communication. When people are communicating in the house, it's easy for them to actually to bond. Yes, to know each other. It's easy for them to connect. But when there's no that communication, you find that it's difficult for them to bond. So you find that in the homes now, people, they barely talk to each other. They find that someone is communicating to someone who is in UK. Even the person who is in UK knows what I'm about to do next. But your brother who is seated next to you has no information, no idea. He doesn't even know where you're going tomorrow. He doesn't even know what you are going to do. He doesn't even know what you want to do. He has no knowledge about it. Is because people have actually isolated themselves, and now people, you find that they just want to socialize with other people apart from the people who are just near them, and it's really bad if we go in that route, because we won't really bond as a family. Yes.
And speaking of community, don't you think also feel it brings mentorship, even skills development? Maybe you find maybe an uncle had a certain skill, an auntie had a certain skill, or even just someone actually in the community, you find, this one is a really good carpenter, and you also have interest in that, and you can actually go to that person from within the family, but also within the community, because as Africans, we believe we are actually one family. So don't you feel mentorship also comes as a result of community?
Yes, I think so. Yes, it also comes in skills development, mentorship, and also it also comes in. I remember a long time ago, those days where you find that when men were really hunters, not now. Exactly. When we are really hunters, you find that even maybe your uncle would teach you how to hunt, he would teach you how to take care of cattle. They will teach you some of the skills, they will teach you some of the skills which you'll be able to develop, and it really helps, especially when you are socializing in the community. You get to know, and there are a lot of opportunity. Yes, even to talk about of opportunity, there are more opportunities that happens, especially when you socialize with people you have in the community, because you find that, for example, you are looking for a job. You don't know, maybe the job you are looking for, your neighbor is actually the manager.
Exactly.
At a place where you are applying for a job, is actually the manager. So if you are able to interact with them and you get to know each other, there is socialization, you'll find that it is easy for that person to recommend you for a job, and that person to be able to help you with more opportunity, even to talk about of scholarship. Yes, even CDF and these other things. You find that a lot of people are having difficulty to be able to find their CDF and these other things, because they don't really belong to a community and people don't really know them. So it becomes a challenge even for people to develop their skills, and for them to be able to have opportunities opening for them. Is because there is no that connection. But when we have connection and we are able to interact with people, it's easy for us to develop skills. There are some skills that you can just learn from other people. For example, like I had my friend, this one, he had his uncle. His uncle, he was a mechanic by profession. Yes, so him used to interact with his uncle. He would go to the garage just to help his uncle. And that, my friend, actually developed the skills of fixing cars, of being mechanical, even if he hasn't gone to school. Why? Because there was that interaction with the community. Yes, you see, there are some skills that we develop when we socialize with people, especially when we engage ourselves with people around us.
Mm-hmm. And I also think it also brings actually professional development. You actually become professional when you're interacting with other people, when there's that sense of community, because someone can teach you this. Maybe they see you somewhere and maybe you made a certain mistake, but you open up to them to say, how can I do this? I'm an accountant, help me in my profession. And maybe this person has had an experience for 20 years and you can actually sit under them. I think community also helps in terms of professional development.
Yes, it definitely helps in professional development, not only also professional development, and also some of the talents. Yes, talents, even we talk about also even in business. For example, ladies who do hairstyle, salon, barber shop, even I've never seen, there's no school for barber shop.
These are just skills.
Yes, these are just skills you just learn. And how you can learn actually these small skills, you can learn them is due by socializing with people. You see, in the community, yes, we see people are learning small business of barber shop, or even some people hair salon. It's because of interaction, getting to know someone, and that person actually start teaching you, this is how you can do the hairstyle. I don't know a lot. I don't know how the types of hairstyle of ladies. Maybe there's fishtail. There's something like that.
Yaki braids.
Yes, there's something like that. You see, you'll be able to learn such kind of hairstyle because of you interacting with your friends and your neighbors. But when people just wants to isolate themselves from other people, it's difficult for you to be able to have even personal development in your life in terms of skills, even in your mentality, the way you think and other things, because your scope, your scope of the way you think, it will be limited because it's only the things that you know that you only have. But when you actually interact with people will be able to teach you a lot of things, life, how to, especially when it comes to boys, people will be able to teach you how you can live as a boy, how you should think, because soon you become a father. So you see, we find such kind of conversation in the community and with people that we interact. Yes.
Okay. And don't you think community actually makes things lighter and even takes the burden, because you're sharing your burdens?
Yeah.
So it definitely to make things lighter, definitely you even be free because you've shared the problem with someone who's concerned.
Yeah, definitely. Community makes things to be lighter in such a way that some of the things that we thought we couldn't do, actually the community will be able to bring some encouragement, and we're able to see also there some accountability, even opportunity we couldn't find alone. We are able to see that we are being helped and a lot. So it really makes things lighter, things that you are supposed to do alone because you have got someone, you have got friends around you. Your friends will be able to chip in, they'll be able to come in and say, no, this is how we can do this thing, this is how we can move forward, this is how it's supposed to be done. And you find that those things which look to be impossible to you, things which were looking like, this thing it can't work out, I think this thing it cannot succeed, but because of you socializing with people, you find that you have a lot of encouragement. And also, to talk of accountability, you find that in the community, when you are engaged in one way and the other, you are doing something, you'll be accountable to some people, you'll be accountable to your friends, you'll be accountable to your family. You find that even some of the things some of the wrong things you wanted to do, you wouldn't do them because of the people around you. You say, no, if I do this thing, how will my friend think like? How will my friend react?
Wonderful indeed. And I like accountability. And accountability is not a dirty word, because we think people are following us around like policemen to say you are not doing this, you are not doing this right. But we do need accountability, because accountability actually brings encouragement. It means that person actually believes in you and they are just making sure that you are doing things the right way.
Yes. Accountability is very much important. It's not like you have said maybe someone is following you on your neck. It's just on your neck until you do it. No, it's very much important for us when we are engaging, we are socializing, so that there is accountability. There's also accountability in such a way, for example, maybe you are socializing with your friends, you tell your friend, you know what, I want to pursue this career, I want to do this thing, and your friend will actually hold you accountable. You didn't do this, you promised us you would do this thing, but see now you haven't done it. You said this is your goal this year, you wanted to do this thing, but you haven't really achieved it, because your friends now will be on you, so that they will hold you accountable, so that those things which you are supposed to do, you will definitely end up doing them, because you are accountable to someone.
Okay, indeed. Wonderful. We just need to be accountable. We need each other. We can't be islands. We can't just say, oh no, I can do it on my own, I'm self-styled, I don't need anyone. That's not true. We need community, we need each other, we need to interact with each other. So dear viewer out there, please send us a message and tell us, who has been your strongest support system? I'm sure all of us have a support system. All of us actually have someone we can count on and someone we can look to. We just take a short break. Please join us on the other side.
The Battle of the Choirs. The second edition of the Battle of the Choirs is back. This year, the Battle of the Choirs is happening again. It's the second edition 2026. Register your video now. Send in 2 minutes recorded video. Fill in the registration form. Pay Registration fee of 250 kwacha, non-refundable. Registration is now open for 7 weeks. Yes, starting from the 1st of February 2026. This competition will run up to June as the dedicated month for crowning the champions. Competition awards for this year include first prize 100,000 kwacha, second prize 50,000 kwacha, third prize 30,000 kwacha, fourth prize 20,000 kwacha. Guess what? The first choirs to be registered stand in a world filled with noise. CBC is a voice of hope, truth, and transformation. We are a dynamic, purpose-driven broadcaster bringing you content that uplifts, inspires, and changes lives every single day. From youth to professionals, to families and undeserved communities. Our programming speaks to every heart, every home. And for brands with visions, we are the platform that puts your message where it matters the most. We are more than just a channel. We are a movement of faith, of purpose, of impact. Partner with CBC TV and let your brand stand for something greater. Purpose, integrity, lasting impact. CBC TV, inspiring transformation every day. Christ Life is more than a school. It's a nurturing community. Our qualified teachers use innovative methods that keep the minds and hearts of our students engaged. Our cafeteria isn't just a place to eat. It's a hub of nourishment and community. Our sports activities are always filled with fun and creativity that promote teamwork and confidence in every child. With access to the latest educational software, learners are prepared for the digital age with confidence and creativity, empowering students with skills in and out of the classroom. Swimming is a life skill that is cardinal for survival. Our ballet programs teaches more than just dance. It installs grace, discipline, and expression. The heart of knowledge builds in our school library with a wide collection of fiction, non-fiction, reference material, and digital resources. Our school offers exciting and safe playground facilities for both ECE and primary students. Safety is our top priority, and our drivers are carefully selected for their professionalism and commitment to the well-being of our students. At Christ Life School, we believe education is not just about passing exams. It's about preparation. So, if you are looking for a school that feels like home, where your child will be known, loved, and challenged to reach their highest potential, then Christ Life School is the place. One Love Radio is a dynamic radio platform that captures the diverse communities across Zambia with an audience of over 6.5 million, with physical satellite stations in Mungu, Mansa, and Lusaka, and frequencies that cover key markets across the nation: Lusaka, Kafue, and Mazabuka. It's an engaging, informative, entertaining journey with programming designed to maintain a dedicated listenership across the country. Get clicking, get listening to One Love Radio today. One Love Radio. Inspiring, touching, life-changing radio.
Welcome back to the Light TV Breakfast Show. And if you're just tuned in, today we are looking at the power of community. So what does community mean to you, dear viewer? We are looking at how we can coexist together and how naturally we are communal people and how important our community is. But in the meantime, we go straight into our news buzzing segment where we look at what's making headlines even around Zambia and what's trending and what's going on out there. Our first headline is Mwimbu challenges correctional service to drive agricultural diversification. Home Affairs and Internal Security Minister Jack Mwimbu has challenged the Zambia Correctional Service to take a leading role in promoting agricultural diversification in the country. Mr. Mwimbu said embracing diversified agriculture will help ensure sustainable farming practices, improve land use, support local ecosystems, and generate surplus produce for sale to contribute to national and economic development. He was speaking when he officially opened the Zambia Correctional Service 2026 Senior Officers Conference and launched the ZCS Service Charter in Chilanga District. Mr. Mwimbu added that the conference must deliver clear policy resolutions accompanied by defined implementation timelines and strengthened internal accountability systems. Meanwhile, Zambia Correctional Service Commissioner General Frederick Chikulutu reaffirmed the institution's commitment to strengthening partnerships, advancing rehabilitation programs, modernizing operations, and contributing to national development. Mr. Chikulutu said the conference aims to provide strategic direction for the institution while reaffirming its core values and mission. He added that the newly launched charter guarantees that former inmates will receive timely post-discharge support to ease their reintegration into society. What do you make of that story?
I think this is just a good story to see that Mr. Mwimbu is actually encouraging the ZCS actually to diversify in the agriculture, which is very much important. Yes, looking at where we are, agriculture needs to really to be diversified rather than maybe dwelling on one crop. It really need to be diversified. This is a very good thing that he actually did and encouraged them. Yes.
Yes, and I also love this diversification policy. Yes, and sure. Like you've rightly said, we can't just be focusing on one crop. There are different things which we can actually use, like maybe even growing rice. Yes, and even for export, we can actually be exporting to other places. Like say there are places like Mongu where it's naturally where there's lots of water, like the flat plains. Yes, even in Wapula, there are flat plains. You start growing rice and even start exporting. And I think diversification in the agriculture sector is very important. And even when we look at this story, it's also talking about reintegration of inmates and these people who have been imprisoned. Actually, some of them are even innocent. Some of them maybe were wrongly accused, and when they're reintroduced to society, I think we can embrace them as well. And I like that. I like it that they're being taught these agricultural skills, because agriculture is the backbone of any nation. In fact, Western nations actually developed because of agriculture. That's why we see powerful nations like America ticking, because they started with agriculture. And this is not just for inmates, but all of us can actually embrace it.
Yeah, definitely. We just have to embrace it, yes. Looking for the second headline is that Lobas steal 181,000 gate takings at gunpoint from Shindi Stadium during mighty Mufulira Wanderers and Changa Rangers game. Mufulira Wanderers Football Club security incident. Mufulira Wanderers Football Club wishes to inform its sponsors, supporters and all stakeholders that on Sunday 16th February 2026, following our week 20 fixtures against Nchanga Rangers at Shindi Stadiums, an armed robbery occurred at the club secretariat at around 18 hours. Armed robbers held members of staff at gunpoint and made away with cash amounting to 181,000, which had been released from gate takings. The assailants also hijacked a Toyota Harrier, a registration number of AIF 4314 before, belonging to our logistic manager, Mr. Patrick Mwanza, which was to be used to transport the cash to Mopani Security for safekeeping. A gunshot were fired to scare away people in the vicinity before the suspect fled the scene. Police were immediately alerted and a manhunt was launched later in the evening. The motor vehicle was abandoned by the suspects and subsequently recovered by the police, while the robbers escaped with the stolen cash. The Zambia Police Service is currently working tireless to apprehend the culprit and and bring them to justice. Mufulira Wanderers Football Club deeply regrets this unfortunate incident and assures all stakeholders that we are cooperating fully with the police and taking measures to strengthen security going forward. Wow, what a story. You see, we are able to see this is a very sad story. Can you imagine? 181,000 was stolen.
Imagine while people are going to enjoy a game, people are going to have fun, and then you just decide to go and steal and just to ruin someone's life and then hold people at gunpoint. You know, sometimes I wonder what kind of selfishness is that.
Yes, we were able to see that they actually they fired the gun. They fired the gun and they stole the money, 181,000. That's a lot of money. And on top of that, they actually hijacked a Toyota Hilux, which was later on abandoned. They actually left it and went on with the money. So it's a very sad story. As we are looking now, we are seeing that the police have actually put manhunt investigation that is going on and looking for such these culprits who did this. I think that such kind of people, if they were to if they are found, they really need to be punished. Because can you imagine after a game and the people have actually paid the money and taking all the money of the takings and they just decided to. I think this you might find that maybe they were also part of they were watching the game. We don't know, maybe maybe they were supporting. We are just thinking out loud, but it's not really something good. You may find maybe they're just like that, but it's really bad seeing such kind of incidents happening, especially in Zambia. You know, we used to see such kind of things in movies and what, but now we are really seeing it that it really happened, and someone actually gunshot and they was firing the guns and scared the staffs who are working there, who are keeping the money, because they intended to take the money to the safekeeping security so that they can actually secure the money. Even before they went there, they actually pounced on them. Actually, while they were still at the stadium, they pounced on them and attacked them and got the money. Yes,
really detrimental indeed. Really detrimental. It speaks to security. Now it's like now we are worried about security. We've been talking about community, but of course some people want to be selfish and do things on their own. They don't want to do things the right way, and again, it's also an attack on community.
Yes, definitely. Spirit. Yes, and also the other question would ask, where were the police? Because people were actually playing game. It was happening that side. I think there was supposed to be much security that side, looking at what was happening and the games, and you know where it's crowded and people were supporting their team. There was supposed to be security like in place. Yes, so they were supposed to be there until all those things like people have actually taken the money to safekeeping, but we saw that they actually came the robbers and they pounced on them and actually stole the money. Yes. So viewers, would love you can actually call us on the numbers that are on the screen there. We would love to hear you, especially those people who are watching football in Changa. Would love to hear you from Shindi Stadium. You can call in and phone in. We hear some of your comment and what happened and what's really happening that side. We can call in the lines that are showing on the screen right there. We'll be more glad to hear from you. Yes, and some of you viewers who are just watching us, maybe I've got some comments. You heard this story of what happened, or maybe are also a victim of it. We can would love that you can call in and we can hear some feedback from you. Yes.
So at this point we take a short break. Please join us on the other side.
So won't you break free, won't you break This is Breaking Free.
I have to say, mental health was not my first choice.
Okay.
So this is my second career. I was very fortunate when I came out of school. I went into a career in marketing, advertising and sales.
Because I was a pastor and a businessman. So every time when I go for business dinners with my clients, some of them would say, no, just drink a little bit of wine.
Yeah. So again, if we are focused on areas that are negative, we are focused on our anxieties, it's going to perpetuate negativity. Remember that you have worth, you are worth it, and you are loved.
If you are a prostitute and you condemn yourself, you beat yourself down, go to church anyway. If you're a criminal, you're a robber, and you think what you're doing is not right, go to church anyway. If at any time you drink, you smoke, and you condemn yourself for that, go to church anyway, because church was meant for you and I, because we are both sinners. On Breaking Free, we hope that one day Zambia shall be sober.
So won't you break free, won't you break free? The Battle of the Choirs. The second edition of the Battle of the Choirs is back. This year, the Battle of the Choirs is happening again. It's the second edition 2026. Register your video now. Send in 2 minutes recorded video. Fill in the registration form. Pay registration fee of 250 kwacha, non-refundable. Registration is now open for 7 weeks. Yes, starting from the 1st of February 2026. This competition will run up to June as the dedicated month for crowning the champions. Competition awards for this year include: first prize 100,000 kwacha, second prize 50,000 kwacha, third prize 30,000 kwacha, fourth prize 20,000 kwacha. Guess what? The first choirs to be registered stand a chance to be advertised early on our TV station. Register, register, register now!
Hi, I'm Matt, and you're watching Light TV.
Admission is now open. Are you looking for a nurturing environment that fosters academic excellence, creativity, and personal growth for your children? Look no further than Christ Life School. Our dedicated team of educators and staff are committed to providing a world-class education that prepares students for success in an ever-changing world. With a focus on holistic development, we offer a range of programs and activities that cater to the unique needs and interests of each student. Why choose Christ Life School? We have experienced and passionate teachers, state-of-the-art facilities and resources, personalized attention and support, opportunities of extracurricular activities and talent development, strong emphasis on values and character development. So there you go. Admission is now open for 2026. Enroll today. Contact +260 976 840 108 or +260 968 594 434 or send an email on christlifeschoolzm@gmail.com. Christ Life School.
Others were working, they had good jobs, but they lost it along the way. So they need your support, they need your help. Feel free to visit our center so that we advise on how we can come together and help these individuals.
Are you a small business and want to grow? On Light TV, you too can sell. Make big earnings. Tap into the market. It's on fire, rolling and tasty. Irenda, Irepia. Call our marketing team and be a part of this exciting offer. Revamp your business, re-strategize, and let our creative team take your business to the next level. Call the numbers on the screen now so that we can take your business to another level. Ilenda Ilipia, exclusive to Light TV. Are you a small business and want to grow? On Light TV, you too can sell. Make big earnings. Tap into the market. It's on fire, rolling and tasty. Irenda, Irepia. Call our marketing team and be a part of this exciting offer. Revamp your business, re-strategize, and let our creative team take your business to the next level. Call the numbers on the screen now so that we can take your business to another level. Ilenda Ilipia, exclusive to Light TV.
Welcome to The Big Chair, the show where faith meets leadership.
All I knew is that the moment I stepped out of former employment and have, 24 hours at my fingertips, there is no way I would fail in business.
In each episode, we sit down with Christian CEOs who are shaping Zambia with vision, integrity, and purpose.
So that drive, you just have to keep pushing and pushing hard.
A man whose journey is as inspiring in the boardroom as it is in his walk with Christ.
I had to leave my family in Lusaka and told them to say, we'll start this business from Solwezi. We never closed during COVID. We had more business and we were working even sometimes shifts, 2 shifts, day and night shift. God always provides, and there is no hard work that has no results for labor.
Welcome to The Big Chair, the show where faith meets leadership.
All I knew is that the moment I stepped out of formal employment and have 24 hours at my fingertips, there is no way I would fail in business.
In each episode, we sit down with Christian CEOs who are shaping Zambia with vision, integrity, and purpose.
So that drive, you just have to keep pushing and pushing hard.
A man whose journey is as inspiring in the boardroom as it is in his walk with Christ.
I had to leave my family in Lusaka and told them to say, we'll start this business from Solwezi. We never closed during COVID. We had more business and we were working even sometimes shifts, 2 shifts, day and night shift. God always provides, and there is no hard work that has no results for labor.
Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome back again. We are still talking about the power of community. The power of community. We are looking at why is it important for us to belong to the community, the power of community. So right now we are joined by Mike Mwanza. Mike Mwanza, thank you so much for coming, our co-presenter. Yes, and also Pastor Joe, who is right there. Yes. Let's look at the weather forecast, Pastor Joe.
All right, wonderful. So we have our 2-day weather forecast for today, Tuesday, the 17th of February, and also tomorrow, Wednesday. So for today, Western, Northwestern, Copperbelt, Luapula, Northern, and Muchinga provinces, including the northern parts of Eastern and the eastern parts of Central provinces. In the morning, we are experiencing cloudy weather with isolated rain and occasional thunder. Minimum temperatures will be ranging between 13 degrees Celsius and 20 degrees Celsius. In the afternoon, it will be mainly cloudy with rain and thunderstorms. Maximum temperature will be ranging between 25 and 32 degrees Celsius. In the evening, mainly cloudy, slightly windy, and mild with isolated rain and occasional thunder. Southern and Lusaka provinces, including the southern parts of Eastern and the western parts of Central provinces. In the morning, mostly cloudy with a chance of isolated light rain. Minimum temperatures will range between 13 and 20 degrees Celsius. In the afternoon, it will be mainly cloudy, slightly windy, with isolated showers and thunderstorms. Maximum temperatures will be ranging between 26 and 31 degrees Celsius. In the evening, it will be mainly cloudy, slightly windy, and mild with isolated rain and occasional thunder. Our outlook for tomorrow, Wednesday, the 18th of February 2026, will see an increase in showery activity over the southern half of the country. And we note that the influence of tropical cyclone Gezani is now insignificant since the system has moved further south and is expected to weaken and fade away, of course, by tomorrow, the 18th of February 2026.
Yes, that's the weather update. And also let's look at the weather update from Acromet Meteorological Bulletin highlights. Is that we're able to see the weather update is saying normal to be above normal rainfall recorded in most parts of Zambia, and also soil moisture saturated 90% and 90% to 100% in most parts of the country. From 11th to 20th of February 2026, widespread rainfall is expected across Zambia. Flash flood and flooding anticipated to continue in flood-prone areas during the forecast period. Here are some action items for crop farmers. Is that farmers are advised to take advantage of moist moist conditions and continue planting crops like cowpeas, beans, sweet potato, and cassava on ridges. Avoid planting of crops like maize and groundnut unless there is a plan to supplement with irrigation. Closely monitor fields and take preventive measures to reduce loss of nutrient through leaching. Ensure proper drainage channels to mitigate potential flooding and washing away of crops in areas likely to receive excessive rains. Delay top dressing fertilizer application in areas experiencing heavy rainfall, waterlogging or flooding to avoid nutrient leaching. Secure farm machinery in water logging and flood-prone areas to raise and safe areas. Maintain good field sanitation, but avoid entering field when soils are saturated to prevent soil compaction and emerging crop damage. Farmers advised to properly manage fields to avoid loss of the crops due to high risk of pests and fungi disease during the forecast period. Yeah, we're able to see the farmers have been advised to actually, because it's raining, and we saw the other day that there was a lot of moist mist in Lusaka.
Exactly.
Yes, so they need to take those measures.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, sure. Yeah, so let's go and see what's in the sports for today.
Okay. Sports. Mandela wins main bout at Zambia National Amateur League by Mwamba Makonde Manaka Manta with fighter Chomba Mandela has won the main bout at the mixed martial art 9th Zambia National Amateur League held at OYDC Zambia Sports Development Center in Lusaka. Mandela defeated Abraham Banda via anonymous decision after 3 rounds. The event was aimed at promoting and growing amateur mixed martial art in Zambia. Mandela secured victory following 3 intense rounds in a closely contested fight that brought the action-packed night to a close. He described the fight as highly competitive, saying his opponent was a skilled fighter. The fight night opened with a young contest in which Tyson Mubanga defeated Emmanuel Dembo via unanimous decision. Speaking after the event, Mixed Martial Arts Association of Zambia President Henry Shoko expressed pride in the performance of the athletes. He said the association is now focusing on preparation for Zambia National Amateur League 10, set for March 14th in Kitwe. Meanwhile, fighter Jaseo Chiwe said they planned well for this fight and was happy that his training paid off.
Wow, that's a congratulation to him.
Yes, wonderful fight. Yes.
Yeah, we're able to see that's a wonderful fight. Yes. Let's look at a copper belt debut between Mufulira Wanderers and Changa Rangers was overshadowed by an armed robbery at the Wanderers Secretariat shortly after Sunday's match. On the pitch at Shindi Stadium, Changa Rangers edged their host 1-0 to claim local bragging rights in the tightly contested encounter. Joseph Musonda struck the decisive goal in the 56th minute, finishing calmly to hand Rangers a crucial 3 points and lift them to 34 points on the table. The result restored momentum for Changa after a difficult run of form, while Wanderers were left frustrated after failing to capitalize on home advantage. Armed men still match takings hours after the final whistle. Wanderers confirmed that armed robbers attacked the club secretariat at around 18 hours local time. In a statement signed by club President Georgie Katonga, the club said staff members were held at gunpoint and 181,000, approximately that is $9,800 money raised from gate takings was stolen. The attackers also hijacked a Toyota Harrier belonged to the club's logistic manager Patrick Mwanza. The vehicle was reportedly due to transport the cash to Mopane Security for safekeeping. Gunshots were fired during the incident to disperse people nearby before the suspect fled. The Zambia Police Service said a manhunt was launched. Immediately, the vehicle was later recovered after being abandoned, but the suspect escaped with the cash. Wanderers said they are cooperating fully with police and are reviewing security arrangements. The incident cast a shadow over one of Zambia's fiercest football rivals, turning what should have been a debate decided by a single goal into a night of wider concern for the club and its supporters. What a sad incidents that happened.
Sad,
yes. We see that 181,000 actually was stolen. Can you imagine? A lot of money was stolen. Yes, and they were actually shooting guns, and they actually stole that man and ran away. On top of that, they actually even hijacked a Toyota Harrier. Yes, we are able to see that they ran with it, and later on it was abandoned, and they just fled like that. And we thank God that the police are actually doing some investigation to be able to find these criminals. Yes. This is very bad. Yes, we're able to see that in Changa after it was won, and we saw that these incidents happened at Shinda Stadium. This is a very sad story.
Yes, people should be able to have fun and enjoy without an incident like this.
Yes.
Imagine now you're going for a football match, you're going to have fun, and then at the back of your mind you're thinking, what if armed robbers are coming? So how can you enjoy it?
You can't.
Yeah, and you see that people now will start developing fear because of such kind of incidents that really happened. Yes. Yeah, sure. Well, right now we're going just to take a short break, and when we come back, we'll continue with the power of community, and we'll be looking at some of the community challenges that people face actually. Thank you so much. Stay tuned.
Christ Life is more than a school. It's a nurturing community. Our qualified teachers use innovative methods that keep the minds and hearts of our students engaged. Our cafeteria isn't just a place to eat. It's a hub of nourishment and community. Our sports activities are always filled with fun and creativity that promote teamwork and confidence in every child. With access to the latest educational software, learners are prepared for the digital age with confidence and creativity. Empowering students with skills in and out of the classroom. Swimming is a life skill that is cardinal for survival. Our ballet programs teaches more than just dance. It installs grace, discipline, and expression. The heart of knowledge builds in our school library with a wide collection of fiction, non-fiction, reference material, and digital resources. Our school offers exciting and safe playground facilities for both ECE and primary students. Safety is our top priority, and our drivers are carefully selected for their professionalism and commitment to the well-being of our students. At Christ Life School, we believe education is not just about passing exams, it's about preparation. So, if you are looking for a school that feels like home, where your child will be known, loved, and challenged to reach their highest potential, then Christ Life School is the place. Are you a small business and want to grow? On Light TV, you too can sell. Make big earnings. Tap into the market. It's on fire, rolling, and tasty. Irenda Irepia. Call our marketing team and be a part of this exciting offer. Revamp your business, re-strategize, and let our creative team take your business to the next level. Call the numbers on the screen now so that we can take your business to another level. Ilenda Ilipia, exclusive to Light TV.
Welcome back to the Light TV Breakfast Show. We hope you're having a good time with us. We hope you're learning one or two things, and we hope you're getting inspired and getting transformed, even as we are still looking at the topic of community, and now we are looking at the community challenge and what we can do as a community. So when we look at community, generally, what inspires community?
What inspires community? I think some of the things that inspires community, it can be also maybe seeing friends around them, maybe needs, maybe people handling those needs and people coming in. So what inspires most communities are people actually, they have to come in so that they help one another. Yes.
Yeah, also the other thing is that that inspires the community is working together, supporting one another. That's one thing that inspires the community. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, and I also think being sensitive to the needs of others, and you even as an individual identifying that there is this need. I think that's also very important, being alert and saying, no, the community needs this. You identify that need, but of course you don't do it alone, since we are not islands. You also identify people who can help, and we can identify that need together.
Yeah, sure, definitely we can do that, especially when we see the need in the community. We need really to come up on board, especially everyone in the community, so that we can actually help out. Maybe if someone is going in need, or maybe probably at times maybe you find that maybe in the community there is a load, especially when it's raining like this, the load is damaged. You don't need to wait for the government to come up with. For example, if the community, we are united in the community, it's possible for us to be even to make a load. Yes, you find that most people, they will be waiting. Some of them say, no, Boma Yanganepo. They wait for such kind of comment, Boma Yanganepo. But that's the reason why we are here as a community. We can still do something apart from us waiting just for the government. So if we see some needs, especially that we at our level of community, we can actually tackle them. It's very much imperative for us to be able to do them. Yes.
Exactly. And then the follow-up question would be, why is community important today? Because I'm sure we've all heard of self-development. I need to work on myself. But then again, that's not actually bad, to say. That's actually not wrong. But then in the context of community, why is it important today?
Yeah, I think for me on my own, I think community is very much important, because community actually brings you feel belonging to a community. You feel belonging to a community. It's very much important, because you feel like you belong to a community. To a certain group. You feel like you are valued. So if it's so important, because it brings that belonging. Yes.
Also, and the other thing also is why community is important is because when you're an individual, you're alone. For instance, if you fail, you there's no one to bring you up. But when you're a community that you're united, when someone falls, they will catch up and you move together, because we say united we stand and divided we fall. So you find that when we are together as a community, things are right. Even if one falls, 2, 3 falls, those that are standing will still come up and will still keep moving.
Yeah, it's also important community, because community also provides some support. We mentioned earlier on, when you are just alone like an island, you may not have support. You still need one person the other way to help you out. So it's very much important, because there is that support that comes in from
Actually, also it's easy for the devil or maybe the hunter to hunt you when you're alone.
Yes.
So if you have seen how animals move, if even that lion, when the lion is about to attack, it will target one. The moment it just depart from the friends, that's the end of it. So when you're together there, you think, imagine maybe we see a lot of giraffes, maybe buffaloes that are standing together. If one lion comes, can it attack those? No. It can't. But when just one just try to run away, then that's the end. So this also teaches us that saying stand together, even the enemies cannot come and shake us.
Yes. As you have said, that one is also important, especially when, for example, when people have got funerals, we are able to see that the community actually comes in. They come in and they help us one way and the other for that funeral. So it's very much important. For example, if someone is selfish, it doesn't belong to the community, it's difficult even people to help you when you have a funeral, you have so in such kind of situation, it's also important because there is emotional support that comes in. Yes.
And I think the most basic one is also identity. We also, even though we have our own identity and we know ourselves, but we still have to identify with someone. We still have to identify with a group of people and say we are part of this. For instance, we are Zambians. We identify as Zambians. So that's also part of it, having an identity.
Yes. I think having an identity is very much important also when you belong to a community. You have that identity. Yes, it's just like, for example, like when you're coming from Africa, Africa is also a community on its own. Zambia as a nation is also a community on its own. Yes, you find that even people where you're coming from, the community, it also gives you an identity. For example, if you go to a place where you don't know anyone and you just hear someone and says, no, me I stay in Ibex, or me I stay in this side, you find that you have that this person, you feel as if you can actually talk to that person because you're actually coming from the same location, from the same place. So there's that identity, like you identify, you start getting to know each other. It's also very much important, as we can see from that one.
So what challenges do communities face, or what challenges do we face, like maybe as individuals in a community, or just generally, what challenges do we face as a community?
I think some of the challenges that we face as a community, there are a lot. Apart from the few belong in some of the importance, but also there are a lot of challenges, especially in community. One of them is lack of unity and trust. When we see in the community, people don't really unite. It's difficult. Like we mentioned that you find that people want just to be alone. They don't want to associate with others. So there is lack of unity and also trust. We cannot really blame people of not trusting other people. It could be maybe some of the experiences they had. Maybe there are people in the community, you find that you trusted someone without knowing that that person went on your back and he did something. So there are those incidents, but despite that, we still need for us to belong to a community. But some of the challenges most is the lack of unity and also trust.
And the other challenge that people face in the community, it's not knowing personalities. You know, for you to stand together, you need to know each other's personality. I have to know, okay, Pastor Joel likes this, doesn't like this. I have to know, okay, Pastor Shepherd likes this and doesn't like this. So me knowing that, I know what to say. I know which limit I will set with Pastor Shepherd. So what will keep us together?
Mr. Mwanza, so you're saying that lack of personality. So this means that most people need to know each other, like personality. They have to
understand the personality of someone and even themselves. Because there are people, I would give you an example of a sanguine personality. A sanguine would come here and crack a joke and forget and leave. So then you keep it in mind. Say, ujanani tukana anakamba chepa kwenye anachiva lako hivi, you see. So when you know that, okay, Uja Miguel or Mike has a sanguine personality, amakamba chia viva lako. Next time I say something bad, you won't get upset because that Ujama kamba kama nemo ya didi. And that will keep us unity because you know my personality.
So that makes that tells us also is it that some people don't want to belong to a community because they feel like they will feel like maybe they will be brought down, like you are saying someone will just crack a joke on them and say, and they'll feel bad. Is it some people just don't want to associate with others because of that.
Yes, I think it's one of the reasons why some people step down, because one thing, they don't understand their personality. Second, they don't understand the personalities that are there, that are more dominant in other people. So you find that if someone just says something to you and you don't understand yourself, you don't understand the personality of a person, that person, it's automatically you shut down. Even the time we have a meeting as a group, as a community, you won't participate. Why? If you maybe if you say something, someone would crack a joke while you're talking. Imagine how you'd feel. So that I think that you need to know that there are people out there when you're sitting in a meeting or community, someone would just crack a joke. Just you have serious things. There are people that are not serious. Even if you are doing serious things, they'll still bring jokes there. And if you don't understand those people, you end up shunting out from the community. You isolate yourself.
I think what you have said, you are just speaking actually in my past. I used to be one of those people whereby if you associate with people, especially when you mingle with someone who is very talkative, and that person likes making jokes anyhow. Yes, he just looks at you and he just makes fun of you, and he just says something like you. Then you find that I used to shine away from the group, because once I see that man, I say that person when he's there, the way you start saying, and some of the comments, yes, I think some people also they are reserved. It can be maybe because of some personalities of people around them. Maybe some people they don't just like making fun of them. So as a result, they end up being reserved. Yes, and also I think some of the community challenges. I think it's also, we are talking of economic pressure among families that are actually affecting families. Yes, I think also economic pressure affecting families can also contribute to some of these challenges. You'll find that maybe some people, they like he has said, they feel shy, maybe they are not coming from a well-to-do family. You'll find that some people are not actually doing well. So at the end of it, they wouldn't want to associate with someone or other people. You see, they are what we call rich kids. You see, you find that maybe those rich kids who are coming from a rich family, and those people are coming from a poor family. So for them to mingle, it's like they will be saying, no, how can I mingle with a rich kid? You see, they'll start comparing themselves to others. So those are actually some of the challenges that we see, especially in the community among the teens. Yes, to deal with that.
Yeah. And maybe also just on the contribution, the other challenge that the community faces is leadership. The community believes in someone that leads them. Imagine a community and there's no one to moderate the programs or the unity. Community is something that needs someone, one person, one individual to come and say, okay, me, I'm a chair. So you will be calling the meetings. Okay, guys, how do we come up? How do you bring all those things? It needs a leadership. A leadership where someone would influence others. So you find that if there's no leadership in the community, things won't move, because there's no one to come out and say, guys, let's do this.
Okay. Yes, I think to talk of leadership, it also entails us of communication gaps.
Yes.
Where people actually in the community, they are failing maybe to communicate, especially to pass on communication. You find that there is that gap in communication.
Yes, and I think even youth disengagement, where youths have no direction and they feel they've been abandoned, and that's now giving the rise of junkies, where the young boys have no direction, so they feel they have nowhere to go. They feel there's no one to guide or inspire them, so they end up being involved in these illicit activities. And same for the young ladies, there is no proper mentorship, and they end up doing a lot of illicit things, prostitution and the like. So it's like the youths are being disengaged from society, and now they're being left on their own, and they feel, oh, no one really cares for us.
Yes, I also think as a result of those challenges, also it can also result into, especially of you find that maybe there will be high rate of suicide.
Yes.
You find that people also commit suicide because they don't feel belonging to a community. So you find that they tend to be alone, and when you are alone, it's easy even for the enemy to actually bring wrong thoughts in your mind, saying, see, there's no one who loves you in this community. There's no one, ever since you came, you shifted in this community or in this place, it's like there's no one who values you, there's no one who likes you. So you find find that a lot of people actually tend to commit suicide because they don't feel belong to a community. Yes. So it's a result also into suicide. Yes, I think those are actually most facts that we see people actually committing suicide because they feel like they're abandoned.
And also sometimes spiritual disconnect. I think that one is card, where people are just disconnected from any spiritual involvement in the church. Like we mentioned earlier, youth disengagement, where the youths are not engaged in anything and they end up falling into all kinds of illicit activities. So I think the spiritual engagement is very important. Spiritual connection is very important because a lot of young people sadly are being disconnected from the spiritual. They feel, it's for older people, it's for those who are in their 40s or 50s. We as young people, let's just have fun, let's just enjoy, it's for the moment, I'll do these things when I get older. So I think that's very, very important. Spiritual disconnect also brings a lot of problems in the community.
That's true. Maybe just to help out, how can young people actually get involved, like maybe especially with people in the community? How can they get involved, especially in the community?
So young people, I don't know, maybe this is specific, but I'll just take it youth. Take it youth. Okay, so how do these people get involved in programs? I think we need to put some programs that are interested, that, youths, the way we are, we need we need fast things. So you find that you would tell someone, there's this thing that is happening here, drama. That's what someone will ask you. So youths can only attend things where there will be money. You see? So these are things that how we can connect. I remember when ADRA was coming to help people. Because ADRA Zambia, it usually empower youths and even take them to universities, colleges, and also they help in different sectors. They also encourage youth to open cooperatives. So you find that whenever they go for a meeting, youths never used to come. Say, in 2 hours, in a meeting. So how do they get involved? They used to bring a biscuit, na maesi drink, na mafujikana. They bring that. From there, they start a meeting. After meeting, the next week they will bring my bola. Say, guys, come. So much. So in that process, you find that they will make youths to bit by bit interesting. They'll be interested because one, they know there's food. Two, they know bola. So I find that you cut each party. So you're
saying that if we are to bring community engagement, at least we should maybe bring in some food. We give out food, charity works, and other things like you are saying, giving out food. It also brings
it brings people. Actually, if there's one thing that unites people, it's food.
Okay.
Food unites people, yes. Food unites people. So you find that when people are there and there's food, people will come. Everyone wants to eat. So you find that these youths, they really, really want to eat. So they will come. Whether with bola, with China, as long as they know that they will still come.
Okay. Thank you so much, viewers. As we are looking at the power of community, we are looking at some of the challenges that people face in the community, and also we are looking at how we can actually engage young people, even adults, to be engaged in the community. We'll be able to take a short break, then we'll come back for more stories.
I'm Matt, and you're watching Light TV.
Auto-Best Engineering is a fully registered company that has services such as towing service. We have a saloon. We repair cars. We have a car wash.
Barber shop is a top-notch.
And many more.
Auto-Best Engineering is the company which you can rely on. We touch any car. We are just at the corner of Pemba Road and Mosotunya Road. You know what? We deliver the best. Yes, we are growing very fast. It's a top-notch company ever in Zambia. When you come, wherever you are, whether you are in America, you come to visit Zambia, please just go to Google Map, type Auto-Best Engineering Group. It will take you where we are. Auto-Best is a one-stop shop.
Come to Auto-Best Engineering where the best is done. If you want to know where we're located, located? We're located along Mosotunya Road, just right at the corner of Pemba Road, Chilende South. If you want to contact us, you can call us on 0977 18 12 73.
AutoVet Engineering, doing what we know best.
Koji Mwambeleko!
Your latest news.
The report was made by Mr. Abu Gujar, a 37-year-old Indian national residing in Olympia.
Top happening stories.
SDG number 6 on water and sanitation.
Community updates.
Zambia and the nation at large is still mourning the death of the 60th Republican president.
Business news.
From here, there's going to be a great multiplier effect.
On the sport crossovers.
Of awaiting that the body would come back.
Koji Mwambeleko!
And a very good race, and we as a country are very proud of the works that he has done.
Koji Mwambeleko! Get in touch with our news team on the numbers on your screen. Yes, Koji Mwambeleko. We are in your face. We are closer to you. Light TV is a footway away from you. Koji Mwambeleko. Zambia's trusted TV broadcaster.
Thank you, viewers, for joining us again. We are back in the studio. We are looking at a very interesting topic today where we are talking about the power of community, where we are looking at some of the challenges that community face and also some of the things that the community can do actually to get involved so that they can help one another. Right now, we have been joined by a very special guest who will be able to share some insights about the community. This is Mr. Valentine Kamfuli. How are you, Mr. Valentine?
Fine, thank you, sir. How are you?
I'm okay, thank you. You're welcome. Yes,
thank you so much.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
for having me.
Yeah, sure, you're welcome. Mr. Valentine, what do you understand about community? What do you understand? What's your take on community, the power of community? What do you understand about community?
So, I think I remember in grade 1, it was defined as people who live and work together. So, community... a community does not exist with people in isolation. It exists when people come together, when people work together, when people support each other, when people stand for each other. That's what makes a community. So, as you are saying, the power of a community, its strength is in unity.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then in terms of community, like growing up, did you ever have a sense of belonging, like say in the wider community? You've talked about your grade school. Did anyone inspire you, like maybe in your upbringing, to say this is how we do things in the community?
Yes, there are people that have inspired me. Like in the community where I grew up from, there was a man. There's a man. His name is Mr. Gesho Mumbundo. That man, he's been there for the community. He once served as a ward councillor, and when he served in that role as a ward councillor, he was a person who really served the community very well, such that to the extent that he had a vehicle. People, when a person gets sick in the night, if anything happens, people would run to him, and he was always there he has always been there for the community. So I believe community, it is where you support people. You even go beyond yourself.
Okay. So, Mr. Valentine Kamfuli, do you think there is a difference between the old days of community, like you are saying when you are growing up, and nowadays, like we see now, community has been like modernized? Do you think what's the difference do you see between those days and now?
So, in those days, we used to, communion was there.
Okay.
Yeah, people used to work together, but nowadays, I think people have started isolating themselves. Yeah, because I think nowadays, where I'm coming from, I think if there were houses, I'm a brick wall. I think or just I think 2 or 3. The rest, such that you can even see what is happening in your neighbors. Yeah, whereby you even know who stays there, Yeah, so even if something happens, even if there's a funeral, you'll find that a funeral will happen maybe around 01. You find that people will come through. You see, people will be there. You won't be alone as a family. I remember I once stayed in Ndola with a certain brother of mine in North Rise. I remember where we were staying. There was a funeral 4 houses from where we were staying.
Okay.
And we came to learn of that funeral on the day of burial. You see that? So that sense of community, I think we're actually losing it bit by bit.
Okay, what's your thought? What do you think? What are some of the causes that is causing people not really to be engaged, especially to be involved in, especially in funerals, like you mentioned? You find that you are just neighbors because 4 houses is not a lot. It's just neighbors, and you mentioned a long time ago people you used just to have those whole fence used to be flowers, but nowadays you see the whole fence. On top of it, there's even electrical. There's even electrical one. Even bottles. You find bottles. Even people, they don't want even anyone. It's like they are scared from the people. What do you think? What could be the problem, the major problem of looking at now what's happening?
I think it's a case to do with profiling and classes.
Okay. Whereby
you classify yourself to say if so such that even as you are growing up, stuff like that. So as you are doing that, even your children are growing up like that. You see, children are growing up with profiling people to say umuntu uikara muri community yaso tebakwangala sana na vena. You get abantu abadefuminoku you don't have to associate much with them. Why? Because it was something that was taught to them by the parents. You see, the parents taught them that. You see, you understand. So as parents, you need to parents as a community, we need to learn to say it doesn't matter where a person is coming from, doesn't matter the community this person is representing. We need to just accept them.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. And then also I would like to find out from you, is there a way of bringing back this sense of community even in our modern world today? Because I'm sure you're aware, I know it's a modern world, people want to mind their own business. I have my own problems, I have my own stuff, but is there a way we can bring this back and go back to the way it used to be back then?
Yes, we can go back. It's just a matter of talking about it like we are doing right now. We understanding the power that is in community. They say no man is an island. So once we go back to that narrative, which says no man is an island, I think the community can come back.
Okay. To talk about that, so there are some people who are reserved. Maybe bringing out their children to play around with other neighbors. Maybe they are scared. You find that, example, like in the compounds there, you find that maybe they are junkies, they are what. So there are people who are reserved, like they can't bring out their children because in the community they will be spoiled. Yes, some of them maybe will learn some bad manners which they have never been taught. So as a result, people maybe they have built some offense. So what would be an encouragement maybe in that kind of a situation?
Community cannot exist without love. A community cannot exist without love. Until we take love out there, until we show people out there love, then that can be curbed.
Okay.
You know, even the so-called junkies, the people that we label as junkies, you know, they are coming from somewhere. There's something that has led them to be who they are. It's the environment that has been created the environment that was created around them when they were young, which they grew up seeing to be, no, this is just normal. This is just normal. This is just normal. Yeah. You see? So in an environment nurtured with love, peace, love and joy, you cannot breed junkies in such an environment.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so it probably speaks to raising our children again with that sense of community.
Yes.
Because I think when children, it's fostered in children to say, no, this is how you live in the community. You don't behave like this in the community. You behave like this. And like the work you're doing as a teacher, you instill in children, and you need to be commended for that. It's a very tough work, but it does bring a lot of fruits, because indeed you are raising the next generation. Yeah. So I think fostering that in children, and maybe you can even shed more light in how we can even foster community in our little ones.
So, like the quote says, that charity begins at home. We are not going to have a peaceful society if in the homes there is chaos. If there is peace in the house, there is peace in the community. So, if in this community where the children are raised to love, they are raised to be peaceful, they are raised to love one another, they are raised to embrace other people, you are going to create a community that is going to accommodate, that is going to be peaceful, that is going to accommodate every kind of a person. So if in the homes, in the houses, there is no peace, don't expect to see peace in the community, because it starts from there. That is the foundation of peace in a community. So I think the power of community also lies in strong families.
Okay, maybe as we are coming to the conclusion, what are some of the measures that, especially parents, I don't know, maybe even community groups, that we have to put in place to enhance unity, trust? Because we have seen already some people, maybe they don't want their children to go out because they are afraid they will learn bad manners. What are some of the measures that we have to put in place, especially to parents and the people around there, to ensure that there is love, there is unity, there is involvement in the community, and everyone feels a part and parcel of being to the community?
As a parent, you can't be too careful to keep your child away from such an environment. It's the environment where they are. So as a parent, you can't be too careful to keep your children away from such an environment. One day, they will be exposed to that environment. They will be in that environment. So it's not about now looking just at your children. It's you now looking at the community at large. You people are talking about bringing people together, maybe in a soccer match, in such tournaments. Those are programs that will bring people. That even the people that you see, that these are in delinquent children, those are some of the activities that can bring them together. Once you bring them together, you instill discipline in them. You cannot see the fruit there and then, but you can start talking about it. Talk about good qualities of a good citizen. How can you be a good citizen? How can you show love to other people? Even in those meetings, you talked about, say for example, organize a tournament, a football tournament. Before that tournament starts, you have a talk with the people that are present. Talk to them, let them understand. You are going to start creating an environment which will be suitable even for your children when they grow up. Because you cannot hold them back. One day, they will go into that environment. Now imagine we are holding them back. So it is up to us to do something in a community where we are.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Valentine Kamfuri, for coming here. Viewers, you have been watching Light TV Morning Breakfast, where we have been looking at the power of community. We have been looking at the power of community, and it has been an interesting topic. I believe you are blessed, you are inspired, and you are being transformed. Just for a quick, even as we are coming to the conclusion for today, viewers who are watching us, we as Light TV, we are actually hosting a competition for all the choirs countrywide, all the choirs nationwide, countrywide. invite all the choirs to register for this musical competition that we are doing. It's called Battle of the Choir Second Edition. We started it last year and it was successful, and we saw that 5 choirs actually won some prizes. And for this year again, we have brought Battle of the Choirs, and right now we are still calling in for registration. In case you are a choir, you know a choir that would be interested to join in this competition. Right now in this month of February, we are doing registration, and registration process is very much simple. And how you can register your choir is by you sending a 2-minute recorded video of your choir. You can send us a 2-minute video of your choir singing. Once you send that video to our WhatsApp number, that video has actually to be clear. It has the sound, the audio has to be on point, because that will be the same video that will be showing on our TV station to show that you have registered. And also once you send that video, we'll be able to send you the form that you are going to fill in the details of your choir. Once you fill in the details of your choir, you are going to scan it and send it back to us. And there's also a participation fee, which is just minimal. The participation fee is just 250 kwacha. Once you pay that 250 kwacha, there are no hidden fees in this competition. Once you pay it, it's once and for all. You have joined in this competition. So this competition, it has started this month of February. We are doing registration. Next month in March, the 3rd week of March, we'll be starting the auditioning, and then March, April, May, we'll be doing audition. Then June, that's when we'll start the voting. Then it will run up to July on the 18th. That's where we're going to have our grand finale. So we are still calling out all the choirs who are outside there to actually register. You might say, see, we are coming from Kanyama, our choir is small. We need all the choirs, and this Battle of the Choir competition is it's actually open to all the denomination, all the churches, whether you are an Anglican, whether you're a Dutch, whether you're a UCZ, whether whichever church you are coming from, whichever denomination we are coming from. We are still calling all the choirs to register for this Battle of the Choir.
The Battle of the Choirs. The 2nd edition of the Battle of the Choirs is back. This year, the Battle of the Choirs is happening again. It's the 2nd edition 2026. Register your video now. Send in 2 minutes recorded video. Fill in the registration form. Pay registration fee of 250 kwacha, non-refundable. Registration is now open for 7 weeks. Yes, starting from the 1st of February 2026.